Hello brothers and sisters, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you don't have the coronavirus because we're about to get back up to those downs. Now, in all seriousness though, I just want to implore my viewers to remain calm. I know we are in some pretty uncharted territory right now and everybody's feeling a little bit uneasy, but have faith, my friends. God has pulled us out of much deeper holes than this before, and he's not about to leave us now. So just stay calm, stay safe, stay informed, that's very important, and keep your trust in the Lord, and everything is going to turn out just fine. And as we go through this solitude together, I will remain here, continuing to produce content that you want to see, and hopefully providing a little bit of a distraction from all of the craziness going on in the outside world. So with all that being said, let's review an album called Funeral. Now, Funeral is the latest album by rapper/reptile Lil Wayne. Now, I'm a big Lil Wayne fan. If nothing else, I admire the guy's work ethic. The man genuinely puts in more hours and works harder than any other rapper I've ever heard. But I've also enjoyed some of his music in the past. The Carter 3 is one of the classic hip-hop albums of the 2000s, and his Dedication mixtape series, in my opinion, is essential listening for any rap fans. And even recently, he's coming off a pretty enjoyable, albeit flawed record with his long-awaited Carter 5 album, which despite having a few duds and some dated-sounding production, did feel like it was worth the years of waiting that Wayne fans were forced to go through. But now he's back again with a rather unexpected album drop. There wasn't much hype or marketing put into this thing, it just kinda came out of nowhere. But hey, I can't resist a Lil Wayne album, so we're going through all 24 of these tracks, one by one, to determine which of the songs are ups, and which of the songs are downs. So we open things up with the title track of this project, and it's fine, I guess. I'll give it an up. I like the tone of this track, and Wayne does his thing lyrically, his flow's on point. As it's been established in past videos, I don't ask too much from opening tracks on albums. As long as it gets my attention and makes me want to keep listening, then it does its job. And that brings us to the second track, titled Mahogany.
Break it down, what are you kidding me? This is hand-carved mahogany.
And this track definitely sounds like a beautiful hand-carved door that I would not want to break down. This track's an up. This is just vintage Wayne as he effortlessly flows over this beat, which makes excellent use of just a smooth vocal sample. I actually think Wayne is at his best these days on beats that sound exactly like this. That brings us to Mamma Mia, and this song is actually pretty good too, so it should get an up, right? You'd think! But as it turns out, one line of bad lyrics can just ruin an entire song, especially when you cut the beat out and repeat that one bad line without any instrumental just to make sure you've really thoroughly embarrassed yourself and the listener. I don't want to say the line. I really don't. Please don't make me say it. Please don't make me say it. The next track is called I Do It, featuring Big Sean, who has a song of the same title on his debut album from like 2009, but let's not think about that. Yeah, Lil Baby's on this thing as well, because of course he is. But surprisingly, this song works well enough that it's another up. Big Sean puts in a pretty nice hook, which is enhanced by Lil Wayne kinda auto-tune crooning underneath. And Lil Baby's parts are short enough that he doesn't really have enough time to ruin the song. And Lil Wayne's verse is a bit by the numbers here, but I do like the instrumental as well, so all the positives kind of outweigh the negatives that you could find on this track, so it's getting another up. Dreams is next, which ironically is not the song that features singer The Dream, but oh, we'll get to him. But this song is all the better for it, it's another up. This is another great beat, and Wayne puts in what I think is the strongest hook of the project, at least of the ones that are performed by Wayne himself. It actually feels like Lil Wayne is experiencing real angst on this track at the thought of losing everything that he's worked so hard to achieve over his career. Unlike most of the songs on this project, this one actually feels like it's about something, and I appreciate that. And for all you non-Lil Wayne fans out there who are probably getting ready to accuse me of being a Lil Wayne stan and bad spelling and shouty caps, don't you worry, cause Stop Playing With Me is grade A, 100% verified down. Not only is Lil Wayne singing and singing badly over a disjointed and poorly mixed instrumental, the lyrics are also really bad. The most notable of which would be the first verse where he says he's getting a face tattoo and it felt like an orgasm. So yeah, moving on, Clap For 'Em, not featuring Megan Thee Stallion for some reason, is up next, and while this song isn't terrible, in fact I might actually like it if it had lyrics, I have to give it a down. Again, this beat absolutely kills, and I could totally see myself getting crunk up in a club to this beat. Assuming, of course, I actually went to clubs and didn't just spend my nights watching reruns of The Big Bang Theory on network TV. But I just can't get over the lyrics. It's cliched, it's repetitive, it's not even original. Cliched and not original, a little bit redundant. Well, yeah, that's what this song is. Like, how many times does he repeat the phrase, shake that ass like a salt shaker? Like, wow, you come up with that line all by yourself, did ya? It's a shame because this beat is really great, but the lyrics? Nah, dude. Nah. And that brings us to Bing James featuring J-Rock, and this is my favorite song on the whole album. It is a big old up. Wayne just lets loose on this track, resulting in a lovably eccentric and unhinged sounding delivery. Wayne basically does the Young Thug style of rapping here, but he shows enough restraint with the quirkiness that it's still listenable. And J-Rock was the perfect feature for this instrumental, which again is absolutely killer. Everything about this song just complements each other brilliantly. J-Rock and Wayne play off each other very nicely, and the beat is dark enough to go well with Wayne's off-the-wall delivery, and also complementing J-Rock's gritty and aggressive style of rap as well. It's really good. I love it a lot. So it was tough to follow Bing James, but hey, someone had to do it, and unfortunately Not Me is not good. It's a down. I don't get it. Like, the chorus asks, who's gonna pop me, which means who's gonna kill me, and then he goes on and says, not me, like he's not going to kill himself, which is a relief to know, I guess, but still a weird flex. Unless... Oh, so... Boy, I'm stupid. So he's asking people who is gonna try and kill him, but the people he's asking are all too scared to actually try and pop him, so they say not me. So this song makes a little more sense, but it's still underwhelming, especially coming after Bing James. The tone doesn't really fit the subject matter either, with the dark, slow-moving instrumental and Wayne flexing about how untouchable he is. It just feels like it should have more energy than it does, so I'm gonna leave it as a down. The next track is Trust Nobody featuring Adam Levine, and of course it's a down. Did you expect this to be good? Now, to be fair, this song is actually about something, but listening to Adam Levine singing about not trusting people and dying before he wakes like he's some sort of battle-hardened gangster thug kills a part of my soul that once made me a good person. Levine's parts are so unbearably corny, and Wayne doesn't really do anything to redeem it with his own verses. It just feels like a song that never should have been conceived. Next. Back to the ups though, thank God, because the 2 Chainz and Wheezy connection comes back to make this nice little rap song. 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne always do good work together.
Look at you, now look at us. All my niggas look rich as fuck.
Well, almost always. But the point still stands, these two have great chemistry, they have a similar sense of wit and humor that just make them great together on a track. 2 Chainz comes through with some funny and witty punchlines on here. Buy her an Acura and drive it to Africa is a line that I find hilarious for reasons that I still can't explain. And Wayne has a pretty nice hook as well, and his flow in the verse is pretty good over this beat. It reminds me of Abracadabra from Dedication 6, which is my favorite song off of that mixtape. It's not as good as Abracadabra, mind you, but it'll do in a pinch. Wild Dogs is next, and it's ironic that this song is called Wild Dogs, as it's probably the tamest rap song I've ever heard. I don't know, there's nothing wrong with it, the beat is fine, Wayne's flow is pretty good, and the rhymes are certainly impressive, as Wayne usually is, but this song isn't one of the most memorable songs on the album for me. It fails to stand out in an already bloated track list, and as such, it's getting a down. Sorry. Next is Harden, and I actually like this song. Even though it's a bit derivative, I do believe it's one of the more coherent songs on this project, so I'm gonna give it an up. I like the beat, which uses a nice, bright, shimmering gospel sample. I gather this song is about a breakup that Wayne is going through, and he's a lot more convincing on this song than he is when he's auto-tune crooning on songs like Stop Playing With Me. It's nothing special, but it's solid. Next is I Don't Sleep, featuring Takeoff. Funny, I don't sleep either, because I have 24 tracks to review on this monstrosity. But this is another song that doesn't really stick with me, I gotta give it a down. Again, it's not bad, but just like Wild Dogs, it fails to stand out out on this really long record, and Takeoff is just phoning in his guest verse here. The song title is a lie because both artists sound like they're sleepwalking. Next up is Sights and Silencers featuring The Dream, which is funny because I had a dream that this song wasn't a down, and then I woke up and I realized that it very much was. First off, why are we still putting up with this very low rent Weekend in 2020? And why does he have a full verse on this song? It's another lovesick auto-tune crooner cut, which is almost an automatic down for Lil Wayne these days. And the first time I heard this, I honestly thought I was still listening to The Dream when Lil Wayne came in with his verse, which is a nightmare for me to listen to. Ball Hard is next, featuring Lil Twist, and this song is also a down. It's derivative, it's by the numbers, I've heard it before. And I didn't know he'd been released from jail. Did he go to jail? Is he still free? Did he get released? I don't know. But I don't remember him, and I'm sure as hell not gonna remember this. Alright, we're on the home stretch here with Bastard, parentheses, Satan's Kid. And this song is actually really gritty and dark, so fair play to that. It's getting it up. Wayne absolutely spazzes over this dark minimalist instrumental, and the lyrics I interpret as Wayne imagining what his family thought of him when he was born. The father claiming that the child isn't his, and the mother telling him not to trust people, probably because of how his father left her. Plus the uncle making excuses for the deadbeat dad who left him and his mom. It's actually got some emotional depth to it, and I'm honestly impressed with this. I like this Wayne. I'd like more of this Lil Wayne, please. But unfortunately, the next song is Get Out of My Head, featuring XXXTentacion, and no. Bad Lil Wayne. Bad. Down. It's more the principle of this song more than the sound. I actually like that it keeps up the grittiness and the darkness from the previous track and actually builds on it in a lot of ways. But I do not support the blatant grave robbery of XXXTentacion just to sound more relevant with the current hip-hop fans. X's snippet doesn't even add anything to this track. They just insert a short, like, 8-bar verse and then him screaming in the background throughout the track. You could have gotten rid of it entirely and you still would have had a perfectly coherent song, and the song itself would have been great. And regardless of what you thought of XXXTentacion as a person, and feel free to think what you want, he kinda deserves it, but can we just let him rest in peace and stop encouraging artists to pilfer dead artists' unreleased recordings just for a cheap feature? Stop it, Wayne. Stop it. Piano Trap is next, and I do love this song quite a bit. It's getting an up. It's another great beat. Wayne's flow and rhymes are on point again, and he's actually got some clever punchlines on here. And I love the beat switch up towards the end. Wayne really spazzes on the second half of this song after that beat switch. And this may be my second favorite track on this album, right behind Bing James. Line 'Em Up is next, aka Mahogany Part 2, because it's basically the exact same song. But what can I say? It's still really good. It's getting it up. The opening line, "All this cocaine got me acting white," is hilarious and possibly racist. It's fine. Because reverse racism isn't real. There's nothing much to say about this, just take what I said about Mahogany and apply it here. I wasn't lying when I said that Wayne was at his best when he's rapping over these types of instrumentals. And if Lil Wayne wants to spend the remainder of his career remaking songs like this and Mahogany, then hey, I'm on board. Sign me up for that. This one pains me now though, because the next track is Dark Side, which has a stupid sick beat. But I just can't co-sign these lyrics. It's a down. Wayne kills people. Wayne has sex with a lot of women. Wayne does a lot of drugs. His flow and rhymes are impressive, but at a point I gotta draw the line and hold Wayne to a higher lyrical standard, because this song, it's not original. It's a derivative trap banger. But it's not like Wayne elevates it with any clever lines or mind-blowing wordplay. He's just kinda going through the motions. I'm angry more than anything because Wayne just wastes this banger of a beat on what is basically just another trap song. As it is though, no one is going to remember this song, and that is a damn tragedy. And keep the downs coming, unfortunately, because Wayne isn't done auto-tune crooning just yet. Only this time he does it over a bright guitar loop that sounds vaguely Caribbean. Is it reggae? Is it rock? Is it rap? I don't know. All I know is that it sucks. The lyrics do feel a little more sincere than these auto-tune croon songs tend to for Lil Wayne, so fair play to that. But it's just impossible to take seriously as a whole with Lil Wayne's performance. And when he has lyrics about having sex on the stairs in a song where we're supposed to believe that Lil Wayne is just bereft of true love, yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. The penultimate song on this project is T.O. featuring O.T. I'm in love with the Coco Genesis. And surprisingly, O.T. Genesis doesn't ruin this song, but oh boy, is it still ever a down. The hook of this song is that he makes his girl cry like T.O. That's terrible in so many ways. And finally, we're at the end of this album, and the closing track is Wayne's World, which is a pretty forgettable finish to what is honestly a pretty forgettable project. Chorus alone makes me not like it. It's Wayne's World! Stop that. Oh, but there is a line in here where he says, and I quote, "Fucks his ex, don't know why, don't know how." Of all things, Lil Wayne, I didn't think I had to explain to you how sex worked. I do like the end of this track though, where the beat kind of drops out and it's just percussion the rest of the way. But then I hear, "It's Wayne's World!" and it makes me hate this track all over again. It's a down, by the way, I don't think I even said that. And that was Funeral, and yeah, I don't get it. The production is great, almost every instrumental on this album is a banger. But this album is way too long, it's severely lacking in any truly memorable moments, and Wayne's style and delivery is incredibly stagnant after the first few tracks. Sure, Carter 5 was long, but it was the accumulation of years of work that Wayne wasn't legally able to release for such a long time. But what's the excuse for this? And this album doesn't have nearly the same high points that Carter 5 had, and the low points on this album are way lower than anything that was on the Carter 5. But I don't want to dwell on comparing this album to the Carter 5. As a standalone record, this is just forgettable. There's a handful of good tracks that I could recommend on their own, but I certainly don't think it's worth sitting through the rest of this album to get to them. And as a record, this one will likely go down as one of Lil Wayne's weaker efforts in his ever-growing discography. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. I imagine this is going to be a very long video, so if you made it to the end, I am so appreciative. If you'd like to give this video a like and share it with your friends, that would help me out a lot, and I would be very grateful. With all that being said, have a blessed week, stay safe and stay healthy, and we will see you in the next video, because I'm still working on that outro.